Starting on the north side of the yard, we got our bamboo. This is the old Hame variety timber bamboo. And then from there, coming down, we got passion fruit growing on a vine here. And then coming over here to the right a little more, we got our Malaysian red guava. And then we have our Yosemite gold mandarin tree, and haven't had too much luck yet with fruit, but we'll see here. We got some fruit coming in, and we'll see if they set this time, if they stay on the tree, but I've had trouble with that so far in the past. Coming back over this direction again, we got this kit mango. This has never really done very well for me. I get tons of flowering and wants to fruit, but I can't really get much in the way of leaves on it, so don't have a whole lot of hope in that being productive. This is a fig tree here. This is can't think of the name of it right now. Then we got my mango tree. This is a Manila mango. Got some flowers coming in kind of late this year on this particular tree. Actually, both my mango trees were late flowering. And then we got another of the fig trees here. This is the unknown pastelleri fig tree. This has a great berry tasting fruit on it. Then we have, this is the fruit punch mango. I got 3 good tasty fruit off of it last year. It's a very small tree, so I don't expect a lot out of it, but it does look grows pretty well. Decent vigor on it and flowers really well. But again, this year it was really late. Last year we flowered in December, and this year we didn't get flowering until here we are in May. So interesting, the difference there in the seasons. Coming over here to the right, we got this mess of dragon fruit. Never have gotten it to fruit yet, even though it's been in the ground for many years. Hopefully this year it'll be better doing that. And then we got papaya. This is the solo papaya or Hawaiian papaya. Get a lot of fruit off this. We don't particularly love papayas in this house. We do use the green ones sometimes to make the salad with it, and I do take the fruit in also for my coworkers. I do have people at work that like it. Then moving here back over to the right again, we got this guava tree. Produces really nice tasting small and sweet guavas. I don't remember the name of it right now. White tropical is what I think I remember it being. But then this is my avocado tree. I believe it's a Haas. It was in the ground when I bought the property. It was the only tree essentially that I kept on the property. It was only about 2 or 2.5 feet tall when I moved in, and almost practically dead. But I did a lot of watering and fertilizing, and it would be at least twice this size, but I really do try to keep it small for my yard. I try to keep it short and wide so that it's easy to access the fruit. This year, I'm getting a pretty good amount of fruit on it. I had a ton of flowers, but as what usually happens is a lot of the flowers fall off, and then even the ones that don't fall off that produce fruit, a lot of the fruit fall off. So I don't know, I'm guessing so far if these stop falling off at the rate they have been, I might have a couple hundred avocados on this tree this year. Moving back to the left, I've got my bougainvillea. I've got some of my ice cream banana trees that are located over here in the background. You can see the rubber tree in the background. I can't remember what they call that variety. It had a little more pink on it when I first got it, but I think being outdoors, it's turned more of a white and green. This is my torch bougainvillea. I'm trying to give it sort of a bonsai shape to it. So I'm trimming it in a way in which it gets the flowers or the leaves clumping on certain branches. So we'll see. I've just started shaping this recently, so we'll see what kind of effect I get long term. I've got a lot of this Charles Grimaldi Brugmansia. It's very easy to propagate with cuttings. I used it, transferred it from another property, and I used it to kind of fill in spaces because my budget doesn't allow me to fill my garden all at one time, and it's kind of fun anyway to select your own certain varieties over time that you feel like you want to fit in. Similarly here with this variety of plumeria, I don't know the name of it. It's kind of a pinkish whitish flower, more pink than white, also some yellow on it. It flowers like incredibly. I've never seen a plumeria tree flower as much as this. And because it flowers so much, it branches heavily and it ends up being more of a bush than a tree. And then this is another variety up here. Again, don't know the name of it. It resembles a candy stripe in terms of the way the flowers look. Moving here to the right, we've got a Eversweet pomegranate tree. It's been in the ground. This will be the second season. It's starting to get some really good growth on it. Don't know if I'll get any flowers yet this year. I don't necessarily expect to, but we'll see what happens. Then we got the Soleus, I believe, I can't think of the name of it right now, this gold trumpet flower vine. I actually got a cutting of this. It came from my neighbor. It does also propagate quite easily here in Southern California from cuttings. It makes an amazing flower. It's just sort of hard to keep it in an upright pattern. It tends to get heavy and wants to drop over, so I have to do a fair amount of staking to keep it upright. And then here, a couple more. This is another variety of plumeria that broke, so that's why there's two sections of it here. It does kind of look, again, like a candy stripe variety, but I don't know for sure what variety it is. And then this is a newly planted nectarine. This is was bought at Costco. It's called Double Delight Nectarine. So it's double blooms, and then really good sweet tasting fruit, they claim. And fortunately, even when I bought it, it had small fruit, so I've got them bagged up here to keep them from being preyed on by our varmints in the yard. So we'll see. Hopefully maybe by July or August I'll have some nectarines to try out, and I'll let you know what I think. I got another ice cream banana. This one seems to have been affected by some sort of fungus or something. It's got this black color to it, so I try to keep it isolated from the rest of my trees. I try not to use the same trimming tools so I don't spread this around. And then right below that, you can see here we got the cherry. Let's see, what do they call this again? This is a not Jamaican cherry. I can't think of it right at the moment. So those of you maybe that are familiar will know what they call this again. But anyway, you can see the flowers already starting to come in. This thing gets pretty sparse looking in the winter time, and then in the summer it starts to kind of fill in decent with new leaves, and then of course it's already starting to flower. I don't know, sorry, I can't remember the name. It's not Jamaican, but anyway. Let's see, coming over here, this is one of my favorite of the Thai plants, or tea plants, however you want to pronounce it. I believe they call it the harlequin, but again, I kind of get the different names of these mixed up. But I really like the mixtures of pinks and greens and reds. Here's another of the cutting of the trumpet flower. It's very easy to get going. I like to put it near something that I can get it to kind of tie it up to or stake it up with. And then moving along here, this is my traveler palm. These are, for me, really slow growing. I try to fertilize and water them, but for some reason they just don't really, they survive pretty well, but they don't really want to take off and grow as fast as I would expect them to. This is another variety of plumeria. It has mostly yellow with some white flowers on it. It smells really good. One of the better smelling ones I have. More of my ice cream bananas. Behind that, I have another variety of plumeria. This puts off really deep crimson red flowers that, as they get really mature, they actually start to almost kind of become a blackish color. The smell is similar to that of a rose, is what it smells like to me. Anyway, it's really pretty. It's been kind of slow growing, but it does well here. Let's see, again, another variety I transferred from my previous property here at Plumeria. This one is kind of more of a traditional kind of white and yellow looking flower, probably one of the better smelling. Probably more, actually I take that back, it's more of a white and a pink colored flower, especially on the back side of the flowers. They're very quite pinkish red, and probably the best smelling, most traditional kind of smelling plumeria that I have. More Charles Grimaldi in the background here. Again, I use it to kind of fill in spaces. Here I have a lot of these Queen Emma plants growing in my yard. They tend to get pups very easily, and I like to spread them around. Not particularly that fragrant of a flower, but very interesting looking. Nice red color to the leaves. I've seen these in the tropics, like in Hawaii, and they get 2 or 3 times taller and 2 or 3 times wider blade of leaves. I'm assuming that has to do with both the warmer climate as well as the more humid climate. But anyway, it's a cool plant. I posted videos on this. This is my orange crush jackfruit that when I planted it, I believe the roots tore into the ground and the plant appeared to have died. All the leaves, it was a very healthy looking plant, but all the leaves wilted and fell off within, well, it started within a 24, 48 hour period, and within a week they were pretty much all brown. But as I posted in a previous video, I'm beginning to get sprouting down at the base here of this tree. So I think, and most of those are, a lot of those are on the graft side of the plant. So I think I still may salvage that orange crush jackfruit. Another plumeria here, I believe this was, I think when I bought it, a Cancun. It's kind of a pink colored flower. Down in the back here, I've got a couple different varieties. Well, actually one's a ginger on the left, and then closer to the fence there on the right, that's a Heliconia fire and ice. I don't remember the scientific name of that. I've got some ketchup and mustard rose here, tea plant, tea rose. Ketchup and mustard, I think is what they call this. It's pretty intense, the way the contrast of the yellow and the red. Down here, I transplanted some more of the fire and ice ginger. So we'll see. I think this maybe might be a better spot than up there on the hill because it's a little bit moister and a little bit more shaded, because I think they get burned too much on the hill with the full sun. Just here to the right of that is my flamethrower palm. I'm not going to try the Chamberonya, but I don't remember the specific species name. Anyway, and then more of the ice cream bananas. I get copious amount of fruit off these banana trees. You can kind of see maybe there in the background. There's another clump of bananas coming in. I got some king palms here, a fern tree, Australian fern tree, clivia there on the bottom. If you look back in the back there behind the palm, you can see the philodendron, or what do you call it? Boy, I'm having word finding difficulties today. Sorry about that. Here we got more of the bananas. Great sweet tasting bananas. Enjoy these quite a bit. I give a lot away. I peel and freeze the ones that I can't give away and can't eat. And let's see, deliciousa. What is the genus name? Anyway, yeah. So Swiss cheese plant, right? In the background. That's sort of the common name that you sometimes see used for it. It does produce a fruit, apparently. I've not yet had fruit on mine. Moving over here, we got some more of the king palms, double delight roses there in the front. This tree is the white sapote burn-in variety. It's actually a really good tasting fruit. It kind of has the texture of a mix between, say, a pear and I don't know, maybe a banana. And the flavor is kind of like a banana and vanilla kind of flavor. It's really good. It's very sweet. I like to add a little bit of lemon juice to it just to kind of give it a little more tartness. So far, I don't get a lot of fruit off of it. Supposedly these fruit quite a bit. I now have fruit coming in on it. Let me kind of move in closer here and I'll show you the fruit that's on this one. Well, this is actually one fruit. So you can see it there. It's a little bit more, about a quarter size. And then simultaneously, I still have flowers coming in here. This is the first time I've had flowering that's gone on for like more than a month. And so I'm hoping this year to get fruit spread out, because they take about 9+ months for the fruit to come in and be ripe. And then I got to beat the animals, because the animals really like it. The fruit is very soft on the outside. It's very easy to damage it. If it drops, it gets damaged. So I just got to be really aggressive at tracking it and getting into it for the plants. more of the Brugmansia interspersed here and there. I've got some different types of what do you call it? Alocasias and calocasias and things like that growing. Let's see. All right. I wish I wasn't having so much trouble thinking. I should have thought through this before I started posting today. I do have a Chamberonya tree here in the background. I don't get it to leaf out very well. I don't know if it's not getting enough sun or enough water. It does well here, but the leaves just tend to be not that vigorous on it. They're not nearly as big as they were when I bought it, and they don't fill out as well as they did from when I bought it. But otherwise, it seems to do pretty good here. I transplanted some of those dragon fruit over here to this side. And then wrapping up here, I'll just show you real quick. This is another one of the Brugmansia. I've tried to kind of shape it into an umbrella shape so that I can use it to kind of shade this window but not block the view. I'm still working on it. I want to get it a little bit taller and a little bit wider to make that umbrella shape. And then last few things. So this is my, what do you call this? Acha-cha tree. I'm at this point electing to keep it in the pot. I bought it at the same time as that Orange Crush, and I feel similarly that the Orange Crush had very poor root structure within the pot. So I'm reluctant right now. I want to leave this and let it get well established and maybe see roots coming out the bottom before I try to take it out of the ground. And I'm not exactly sure where I want to put it. I know that they do well if they get a fair amount of sunlight, but I also know they burn, especially here inland where I'm at. So for now, I'm keeping it under mostly shade, but in very bright indirect light, and it's doing well in the pot. I don't yet have any new leaves coming out of it, so I'm a little bit disappointed in that, but it is staying healthy looking, and I haven't lost really any leaves on it, so that's pretty good. So anyway, that's I'm looking forward to that. I'm hoping someday to maybe get fruit off that, but we'll see how it goes. And then just a quick wrap up here. I really love these Kentia plums. I got these on sale, 50% off from Armstrong's. This one's probably the lesser healthy looking one. I believe that they put it on sale because I think the leaves get burned inland here very easily. These are the burns that were on it. Some of this has happened since I've owned it, but most of it was from the store. So that's the unfortunate thing here. Let me just move over to this one and I'll finish talking about it. This is my other one. This one's a little bit bigger. But the unfortunate thing is that while they tolerate Southern California quite well, they are what I think they refer to like as a maritime palm. And what that means is that they like, of course, warm weather, but they don't like it hot and dry. And I'm about 18 to 20 miles inland, so I'm a little bit too far in. I get temperatures here in the summertime that sometimes approach 100 or more. Not unusual to be in the upper 80s and low 90s, and then the humidity here can get quite dry. So even though like May right now, we got May gray, it's the middle of the day and it's, you know, overcast, and this is perfect weather for this particular palm, I just don't have the same weather going on all year round. Again, you can see the damage that was on it from when I bought it, but so far it's doing well. I'm going to keep it for now in these pots so that I can kind of move them around and adjust the exposure to sun and exposure to humidity and whatnot. And then I also have them partially protected by being underneath the balcony here. That way they're kind of protected from not only the extreme of direct sunlight, but also potentially from frost. So we'll see how it goes. I originally really did want to put these in the ground, and maybe I will at some point, but I just don't feel right now that it's worth risking burning them. So anyway, I'll let that wrap up this backyard review of my subtropical backyard in 2023. I will come back hopefully in the late summer to show you how much more filled out and full this garden gets. And then I also need to do another video for the front yard. But thanks for tuning in, and take care.